The night over Enchantia was not like any other. The sky shimmered in strange colors, gold, pink, and faint silver, as if a new kind of magic had awakened. Princess Sophia stood on her balcony, her amulet glowing softly against her chest. "That's not normal," she whispered, watching the stars move faster than usual. Even Clover, who was usually half asleep by this hour, twitched his nose nervously. "Looks like trouble, Sophia. Real, shiny, floating trouble." Far across the courtyard, Princess Amber was awake too, holding a tiny golden flower she had found earlier that day, a flower with petals that glowed even in the dark. She had picked it near the royal gardens, not knowing that the flower wasn't from this world. It was called a Buttercup Star Bloom, a magical blossom that had drifted through a rift in the sky, a doorway between realms. As she held it close, the flower pulsed, sending a beam of light up into the night. Sophia saw it from her balcony and gasped. "Amber?" she called, running down the halls of the castle. The air felt electric, every candle flickering as she passed. When she reached her sister's room, Amber was floating, lifted gently off the ground, surrounded by a soft golden glow. Her eyes were closed, and the flower in her hand was spinning slowly. "Amber!" Sophia shouted, rushing to her side. But the moment she touched her sister's arm, the world around them changed. The room dissolved into a swirl of light and wind. The castle faded, replaced by a vast field of glowing flowers stretching as far as Sophia could see. Above them, strange shapes floated in the air, shimmering butterflies made of light, drifting like stars. The air smelled sweet, and yet something felt wrong. The sky wasn't the deep blue of night or the soft orange of dawn. It was a pale, glowing white, like the inside of a dream. Amber slowly opened her eyes, dazed. "Sophia? Where are we?" she asked softly. Sophia looked around, heart racing. I don't know, but this is Enchantia." The Buttercup Star Bloom floated from Amber's hand, glowing brighter now, and a soft, melodic voice filled the air. "Welcome, children of light," it said. "You have crossed into the realm of the Sky Garden, home of the Buttercup spirits." Amber blinked in awe. Did that flower just talk? Sophia nodded, still stunned. The voice continued. "One of you carries the light of harmony. The other holds a spark of change. Together, you can awaken the sleeping roots and restore the garden's heart or destroy it." Amber frowned. "That doesn't sound very friendly." Sophia stepped forward, her courage rising. "We don't want to destroy anything. We just want to go home." The voice softened. "Then find the heart of the garden before the shadow returns. The key lies within your bond." Before Sophia could ask more, the flower dimmed and floated away, vanishing into the glowing mist. Amber looked at Sophia with wide eyes. "The heart of the garden? What do you think that means?" Sophia sighed. "I don't know, but if there's danger, we have to face it together." As they started walking, the flowers around them glowed brighter under their feet. Tiny creatures peeked out, half plant, half butterfly beings that fluttered curiously nearby. One of them, a small golden spirit with translucent wings, flew close to Sophia. "You shouldn't be here," it whispered. "The shadow vine wakes tonight." Before Sophia could respond, the ground beneath them rumbled. Far in the distance, a dark wave of energy spread through the glowing field, turning the golden blooms gray. Amber grabbed Sophia's hand. "That doesn't look good." Sophia's heart pounded. "Run." They sprinted across the glowing plain as the dark energy chased them, burning through the flowers. The tiny spirits fled, their lights flickering out one by one. The wind roared, carrying the faint cry of the flower's voice again. "Find the heart before it's too late." Just as the darkness was about to reach them, Sophia's amulet flared to life, surrounding the sisters in a protective pink glow. The shadow slammed against the barrier, hissing like a living storm. Then silence. The world froze. Amber looked around, breathing hard. "Sophia, what is happening to us?" Sophia looked down at her glowing amulet, her voice trembling. "I think the flower wasn't from our world. And now we're part of something much bigger than Enchantia." Above them, the stars swirled again, forming a symbol in the sky, a golden key shape surrounded by wings of light. It shimmered once, then vanished into the distance. Amber whispered, "Do you think that's a heart?" Sophia nodded slowly. "Maybe, but whatever it is, it's calling to us." The sisters stood in the silent, glowing field, hand in hand, with the strange wind carrying whispers of a world that had been waiting for them all along. And far beyond the light, something ancient stirred, watching, waiting, and smiling in the dark. The wind stopped. The glowing field that had just been alive with color was now silent, frozen in pale light. Sophia stood perfectly still, holding Amber's hand as the air shimmered around them. "It's like time just stopped," Amber whispered. Even her voice sounded distant, as if carried away by the strange stillness. Then, from deep beneath the ground, came a low hum. The flowers swayed gently, and glowing dust began to rise from the soil, forming shapes, faces, wings, and soft outlines of glowing spirits. One of them floated closer. She looked like a tiny queen made of golden light, her hair flowing like petals. "Children of the amulet," she said softly, "you heard the call of the Buttercup realm. The heart is fading, and with it, our world." Sophia took a step forward, her amulet shining again. "Can we help you? Please tell us what to do." The spirit queen tilted her head. "Help comes at a cost. The heart of the garden needs pure light, the light of a bond unbroken." Amber frowned. "A bond unbroken? What does that mean?" The queen's glow flickered sadly. "Two hearts that trust without question. Only then can the heart awaken again. But the shadow, it feeds on doubt." The moment she said that, the ground trembled again. Dark vines burst through the glowing soil, twisting and curling toward them. The light spirits screamed and scattered. Amber froze, clutching Sophia's arm. "Sophia!" The vines lashed out, black and sharp like thorns made of smoke. Sophia raised her amulet. It shone with pink fire, forming a barrier around them. The vines hissed, retreating slightly, but not far. The queen's voice echoed, "Do not let fear weaken your bond." Sophia grabbed Amber's hand tighter. "Amber, don't let go." But Amber's eyes were wide with panic. "I can't, it's too strong." The vines wrapped around her feet, pulling her backward. Sophia, without thinking, Sophia leapt forward, grabbing her sister and pulling hard. The amulet blazed brighter than ever, bursting with energy that sent the vines reeling. The shockwave threw both sisters to the ground. When Sophia opened her eyes, everything was quiet again, but Amber was gone. "Amber?" Sophia called out, her voice trembling. No answer, only the soft rustle of leaves. Then, faintly, she heard her sister's voice echoing through the mist. "Sophia, help me." Sophia ran toward the sound, weaving between the dim flowers. The air grew colder. Shadows drifted like fog, and the sky above turned dark. The glowing field was fading into gray. In the distance, a faint light flickered. The buttercup star bloom. It floated gently, as if guiding her. Sophia followed, her heart pounding. "Please be safe, Amber," she whispered. Every step felt heavier, as if the ground wanted to pull her down. Finally, she reached a small clearing. Amber was there, but she wasn't alone. Standing beside her was a tall, dark figure made of swirling mist, its eyes like two fading stars. It spoke in a deep, echoing voice. "The heart belongs to the one who embraces truth. Your sister hesitates. Her heart is clouded with pride. She cannot open the heart." Amber turned, her expression lost between fear and confusion. "Sophia, it's saying I'm not worthy." Sophia shook her head. "Don't listen to it. That's what it wants. To make us doubt each other." The shadow chuckled softly. "Doubt is truth, princess. Without it, light cannot shine." It raised its smoky hand, and vines of black mist began circling Amber again. Sophia stepped in front of her, holding her amulet up high. "You won't take her." A flash of pink light cut through the darkness. The shadow staggered back, hissing like smoke and fire. "You cannot win, child of light. Not while your sister hides her heart." Then it vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the echo of laughter. Sophia rushed to Amber and hugged her tightly. "I told you, I'll never let anything hurt you." Amber's voice was shaky. "But what if it's right? What if I'm not the one the heart wants?" Sophia pulled back just enough to look her in the eyes. Amber, you are the one. You just have to believe that, too. The sisters held hands, and the glow of the amulet spread around them again, soft, warm, and calm. The dying flowers around them began to bloom once more. Above them, a faint symbol appeared in the mist, a golden key surrounded by wings of light, the same one they had seen before. Amber looked up. The key again, it's guiding us. Sophia smiled faintly. Then we follow it together. As they started walking toward a shining mark in the distance, the wind carried the faint whisper of the Spirit Queen. The heart will open only when the buttercup blooms with trust. The air shimmered, and the sisters disappeared into the glowing mist once more, their journey far from over. The glowing mist around Sophia and Amber began to thin, and slowly, shapes emerged, tall silver trees, their branches glittering like crystal, and a sky that seemed to stretch forever. The sisters stood at the edge of a great floating garden, suspended in the clouds. The air was cool and soft, filled with drifting lights that looked like tiny stars. Amber gasped, "Sophia, where are we?" Sophia turned in a slow circle, her eyes wide. "I think we're inside the Buttercup realm." The amulet of Sophia's neck pulsed gently, casting ripples of pink light across the marble path that curved ahead. Strange flowers lined the walkway, some glowing blue, others breathing faint golden dust. And far in the distance stood a giant, shimmering dome covered in vines shaped like butterflies. Inside it, they could see a warm, golden glow. "That's where the heart must be," Sophia said softly. They started walking, their footsteps echoing faintly. Every step made the lights around them flicker, as if the garden itself was watching. Then, from the shadows of a nearby tree, a small glowing creature appeared, a butterfly with wings made of light. It hovered near Amber's shoulder and whispered in a soft, bell-like voice, "The heart sleeps. You must awaken it before the eclipse." Amber looked up. The sky above them was darkening slowly. "Eclipse?" The butterfly nodded. "When the moon covers the sun, the shadow will rule. The bond must shine before that moment, or the Buttercup realm will fade forever." Sophia's heart raced. "Then we don't have much time." They walked faster, following the marble path as it curved around glowing pools of water and towering flowers that hummed like music. But the deeper they went, the heavier the air felt, thick like unseen eyes were watching. Then, without warning, a voice boomed through the air. "Turn back." The sisters froze. The ground trembled beneath them, and dark fog began to swirl over the path. From a mist stepped a tall figure made of glass and gold, its eyes burning green. "You do not belong here," it said. "The heart of Buttercup cannot be touched by those who carry doubt." Amber took a step back, but Sophia stood her ground. "We were sent here to help." The figure tilted its head. "Help comes with a cost. One must stay, the other must go." Amber's eyes widened. "Stay? What does that mean?" The guardian raised one glowing hand. "The Buttercup needs balance, one light to feed the heart, one shadow to seal the path. Choose." The air pulsed with energy. Sophia's heart pounded in her chest. "No, we can't choose between each other." The guardian's voice echoed like thunder. "Then both shall fall." The marble ground cracked open beneath their feet. A beam of golden light burst upward, separating them. Amber fell backward, her hand slipping from Sophia's. "Sophia." Sophia reached out, screaming her name, but the light swallowed Amber whole. Silence. The air calmed, and Sophia was alone. The guardian was gone, the path now glowing faintly beneath her. She fell to her knees, clutching the amulet. "Amber, please be okay." A tear slid down her cheek and landed on the stone. The moment it touched, the ground shimmered, forming a trail of light leading deeper into the garden. A voice, faint and gentle, whispered through the air, "Follow the truth of your bond. The light remembers." Sophia stood up, wiping her eyes. She could feel Amber somewhere, far below. The amulet pulsed again, stronger this time, like a heartbeat guiding her forward. She started running, following the glowing path through archways of crystal and fields of starlit flowers. At the end of the path, she reached a vast chamber, the core of the garden. In the center floated a golden sphere surrounded by hundreds of glowing petals, each one fading and flickering weakly. The heart of Buttercup. Sophia stepped closer, the amulet shining brighter. The heart pulsed weakly, as if waiting. "I'll bring her back," she whispered, "and we'll save this place together." Then, from behind her, a familiar sound, the soft hum of the dark vines returning. The shadow was back, stronger than before, spreading across the chamber walls like smoke. A cold voice echoed through the air. "Without trust, even light turns to dust." Sophia gripped her amulet. "You don't understand. I do trust her." But as the shadow closed in, the amulet's glow flickered and far away. In the darkness below, Amber opened her eyes in a realm of mirrors and silence. Amber's eyes fluttered open. Everything around her shimmered with glassy reflections. The ground beneath her wasn't soil or stone. It was crystal, stretching endlessly in every direction. When she looked down, she could see her own face reflected over and over again, growing smaller until it disappeared into nothingness. The air was still. No wind, no sound. Only her heartbeat echoing faintly in the endless hall of mirrors. She tried calling out, "Sophia!" but her voice came back to her 1,000 times, fading into silence. Panic rose in her chest. "Where am I?" Then one of the reflections moved. It didn't mirror her. It smiled, a slow, cold smile. "You're in the place between light and pride," the reflection said. Its voice was hers, but sharper, colder. "This is where your truth hides." Amber stumbled backward. "You're not me." "Oh, but I am," the reflection said, stepping out of the mirror. "I'm the part you pretend not to see, the one who's always jealous of Sophia." Amber shook her head. "That's not true." The dark amber circled her like a shadow. "Isn't it? You always felt left behind, always second to the girl with the amulet." The reflection's eyes glowed faintly. "That jealousy is the crack the shadow used to break your bond." Amber covered her ears. "Stop it." But the reflection's voice grew louder, echoing through the glass walls. "Until you face me, the heart will die, Sophia will fade, and you will be nothing." The crystal floor trembled. Cracks formed, glowing with dark green light. From them, tendrils of shadow reached upward, twisting around her ankles. Amber screamed, trying to pull away. At that same moment, somewhere above, Sophia felt the ground shake beneath her. The heart of Buttercup pulsed weakly, its petals folding tighter. "Amber!" she cried. The amulet flickered as if responding to her voice, sending out a faint pink beam toward the sky. Down below, Amber saw the pink light break through the ceiling of glass. It touched her hand, and warmth filled her chest. The reflection hissed and stepped back. "She can't save you forever," it spat. "Not until you admit what you are." Amber looked at her glowing hand, tears forming in her eyes. Maybe I am jealous sometimes," she whispered. "Maybe I wanted to be special too. But Sophia never made me feel less." "I did." The reflection's grin faltered. Amber took a step forward. "I don't want to hide from it anymore. I want to change." The mirrors around her began to hum softly, glowing gold instead of silver. The reflection's shape started to flicker. "No, you can't." Amber raised her hand, and light burst outward from her heart. The dark version of her screamed and dissolved into mist. The mirrors shattered like falling stars, and the entire realm glowed brighter than day. When the light faded, Amber stood on solid ground again. No mirrors, no shadows. Just a single glowing path leading upward, made of soft golden light. She looked up and saw the faint outline of Sophia above her, fighting against swirling dark vines. "I'm coming, Sophia!" she shouted, running toward the light. Up in the heart chamber, Sophia struggled to hold her ground. The shadow's form towered above her, its eyes burning white. "You think love can win against darkness?" it growled. "Without her, you are weak." Sophia tightened her grip on the amulet. "You're wrong. She's part of my strength." The amulet blazed with light, forming a barrier around her. The vines hissed and cracked, recoiling. Suddenly, the chamber ceiling cracked open, and a golden beam shot down, the same path Amber was running through. From the light, Amber appeared, glowing with pure golden fire. Sophia gasped. "Amber, Amber smiled. Told you I'd find you. The shadow roared. No, the bond cannot be mended. Amber reached for Sophia's hand, and the moment their fingers touched, the heart of Buttercup flared awake. The petals unfolded, each one shining like the sun. The golden dome above them burst open, filling the sky with swirling green and pink light. The shadow screamed as the light poured through it, breaking its shape into sparks. The bond, it hissed, has been restored. And then it vanished. Silence followed. The heart floated quietly in the air, pulsing gently, now alive again. The whole garden glowed softly as the eclipse in the sky reversed, sunlight pouring down through the silver trees. Amber turned to her sister, eyes wet but smiling. I'm sorry, Sophia, for everything. Sophia smiled back, pulling her into a hug. You don't have to be sorry. You came back. That's all that matters. The amulet glowed warmly between them, and a gentle voice whispered in the air, the Spirit Queens. The heart blooms again, thanks to the bond that never broke. The buttercup flowers around them opened in full bloom, their light scattering across the sky like 1,000 stars. Amber looked up at the glowing sky. Do you think this world will remember us? Sophia nodded. Maybe, but what matters is we'll remember it. They stood together beneath the glowing heart, the air alive with light and peace. For the first time, there was no shadow between them, only trust and the warmth of a bond that had survived even the darkness itself. The air shimmered as Sophia and Amber stepped through the fading portal. In an instant, the glowing clouds and silver trees disappeared, replaced by the soft morning light of Enchantia's royal garden. The sky was bright again, birds were singing, and the castle bells rang far in the distance. Amber blinked, touching her face as if she wasn't sure she was real. We're back. Sophia looked down at her amulet, which now gleamed with both pink and green light. We did it. The Buttercup realm is safe. But the ground beneath them still sparkled faintly, as though tiny fragments of the other world had followed them home. The flowers swayed even though there was no wind, and faint whispers drifted through the air, soft and musical. Amber frowned. Do you hear that? Sophia nodded. It's like the garden's alive again. They walked deeper into the royal courtyard, where the morning sun touched every petal and leaf. Everything seemed brighter, fresher, almost enchanted. The butterflies that fluttered around them shimmered faintly with gold dust. Amber reached out, and one landed on her hand, its wings glowing softly. It's one of them, she whispered, from the Buttercup realm. Sophia smiled. Maybe it followed us to say thank you. Then, as if answering her, the butterfly's wings glowed brighter, and it formed a tiny beam of light in the air. Slowly, the beam bent and shaped itself into an image, a flower made entirely of golden light. It floated between them, spinning gently. Amber's eyes widened. It's beautiful. Sophia nodded. I think it's a gift. As they watched, the golden flower drifted toward a nearby patch of soil and sank into the ground. Within seconds, a real flower bloomed, a perfect buttercup, shining softly even in the daylight. It wasn't ordinary. Its petals shimmered with traces of the same energy they'd seen in the realm. Amber knelt beside it, touching one petal carefully. Do you think it'll stay here forever? Sophia tilted her head thoughtfully. Maybe, or maybe it's just a reminder. Before either of them could say more, Bailiwick came rushing down the garden path, his usual calm replaced with mild panic. Princess Sophia, Princess Amber, you've been gone all night. The king and queen were worried sick. Amber blinked. All night. She turned to Sophia. But we were only gone for a few hours. Sophia smiled faintly. Time doesn't flow the same way in the Buttercup realm. Bailiwick sighed, trying to hide his relief. Well, I'm just glad you're both safe. He paused, looking at the glowing flower behind them. And what on earth is that? Sophia and Amber exchanged a glance, smiling mysteriously. Just something special we found, Sophia said softly. Later that evening, as the sun began to set, Sophia stood by the castle balcony. The amulet glowed faintly against her chest, pulsing in time with her heartbeat. She could still hear the faint whispers of the Spirit Queen's voice echoing in her mind. The heart blooms where trust takes root. Protect it well, princess. Sophia touched the amulet gently. I will, she whispered. Amber stepped beside her, holding a small lantern that glowed with golden dust. I couldn't sleep, she said. It feels like everything's still connected. Sophia nodded. Maybe that's because it is. They both looked down at the garden. The buttercup they had planted glowed faintly in the twilight. Around it, a few of the castle's ordinary flowers had begun to shimmer as well. The light spread, soft and slow, until the whole garden looked as if it were breathing with magic. Amber smiled. Do you think the magic will fade? Sophia looked thoughtful. Magic doesn't fade, Amber. It just finds new places to live. The wind picked up gently, carrying the faint sound of laughter, the same kind they'd heard in the Buttercup realm. For a moment, it almost felt like the Spirit Queen and her world were watching from beyond the stars. Amber leaned her head against Sophia's shoulder. I'm glad we went there, she said quietly, even if it was scary. Sophia smiled. Me too. We found something we didn't even know we lost. Amber looked puzzled. What's that? Sophia's eyes sparkled. Each other. They stood in silence, watching the first stars appear above the castle. The night air shimmered faintly, and for just a second, Sophia thought she saw a small golden butterfly flutter past, leaving a trail of light in its wake. Amber noticed it too. Looks like they're still with us. Sophia nodded. Maybe they always will be. As the butterfly vanished into the stars, the sisters turned to go inside. Behind them, the golden buttercup glowed brighter for a moment, its light soft and pure, pulsing like a heartbeat, then slowly faded into the gentle rhythm of the night. And somewhere far away, deep within the Buttercup realm, a voice whispered through the wind. Two hearts that trusted the light have restored our world. May their bond never break again. The realm shimmered once more beneath an endless sky of gold, its flowers blooming brighter than ever. And back in Enchantia, peace had never felt more magical.